All right, so I'm going to try. I'm going to try and do a quick little tutorial on how you can export layers from Gimp and then convert them to a video. This is going to be very short and sweet, very basic. Start with a new image. We're going to do a 1080p or 1080. I can't even remember, but 1080. You only need 72 dpi for screen. So we have a blank image. We're just going to throw in some random stuff. I'm not going to be too picky about it. Command Shift in, Control Shift in if you're on Linux PC, and Command Shift F to reshow what we just did. And we're just going to change things up a little bit, make it a little bigger. Works for me. Let's go ahead and sharpen that up just to give it a little more dynamic look. One more frame to hit the minimum 3 you need for the next step after I create this third frame. What's purling noise? Let's see. I don't like that. Let's do, sure. Let's go ahead and make it a little bit fancier. There's like a fractal trace. That's under map. Yeah. Can make things interesting. I like the illusion one better. That kind of, yeah, that one. Sure, whatever. What's fun about this is you're going to blend these all together. And what that's going to do is something funky that I forgot about, the fractal trace being a problem. So we're going to go ahead and fix that because there's transparency involved. And it grays it out like that. So this is an unanticipated detour we're taking here. Layer merge down. Just so there's a little more consistency in the look. That gray tone kind of messes it up a little bit. There, brighten it up a little bit. Okay, and then now we're going to sit here and just watch this blend together. And it takes a little while. And you want to have a decent count because at 30 frames per second, it burns through your layers pretty fast. So we're just going to do 180 and we are going to loop it. So we're creating a handful of frames that we're going to then export this as a .oar. Then we're going to unarchive it, and then we're going to import it as an image sequence into Quicktime. Once this is done, I'll export as OAR. Now it's creating a folder, a compressed folder that has each frame as an individual .png. Once that's finished here, we use an unarchiver, in this case, the unarchiver, and we'll extract it and then import it as an image sequence into QuickTime. And I just for the sake of procedure, I'm going to do 30 frames per second. You can do 60, 24, whatever the fuck you want. Well, you have a limited menu in QuickTime. That's one of the benefits if you use an FFmpeg to you can control everything. You can upscale, downscale. You can choose the format. You can get really, really picky. There is a little bit of skill there, or just a fair amount of roadblocks in having to Google exactly how to put that together. I used to have a nice little text cheat sheet of my common things, and once you develop a workflow, you have your own reference sheet. A lot of the Googling gets minimized, until you run into something you encounter when you're trying to change something up or not. But FFmpeg is a spectacular um, program to use if you're not afraid of the terminal. And it's still exporting at this point. I mean, we have a lot of frames to work with here. Um, it's not going to let me scroll around to look, but it's going to take a minute. So crack one open, I guess. We already have QuickTime ready. Already have the drop menu ready for how this is going to get exported and uploaded. But all I wanted to do was show that with Gimp, you can create some interesting video if you have the patience for it. And where I see this being useful creatively is for particular nesting or transitional screens, uh, little segments to drop into creative video that are made from a different like a different procedure than a lot of your just straight up video apps and glitch apps and all this, where things are starting to look a lot the same. But you can, if you have the patience, you can make some really incredible frame by frame animations. Now, there are definitely better ways of doing some batch stuff, but I like that this isn't the typical way one would think about making something in a video format, and I find that it doesn't look like that. It makes it a little more interesting to me, although it's very limited. And my current setup, as you'll notice, it's not like I have enough space to to do much. Video takes up a lot of space, and even doing these, especially if you start doing a 4K resolution and you have all the frames, your RAM gets eaten up in there. I mean, there are a lot of reasons this is just for the sadist or the masochist out there, but there's something interesting about it for me. And there may be other reasons somebody may want to make a video, because you do have a lot of control frame by frame while you're in Gimp as to how the thing works. Basically, if you have animated uh, GIF skills, you can make them into a video format rather easily. Let's see if we're done. Looks like we are. So now we're going to open this. We're going to unarchive this. It's going to create a folder. And then we're going to go in where to QuickTime, open image sequence. Get in here. All the individual layers are PNGs here. I'm going to choose that folder. Bam. As I said, we'll just go 30 frames a second. Puts them together. And if you have some terminal skills or the patience to learn it on Google, install FFmpeg, and don't be afraid of that, because once you get in the zone with that, you have a lot more control as to how you can, and there's some more creative elements you can do there too. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like. So we have a 12-second transition between frames. And it's not super fascinating, but just to show you what you can do with just 3 frames. Now you can do things where you're rotating manually each frame, doing other things, and you've got a fair amount of things that you can do just with, oh, it looks like I exported to the wrong spot. There we go. But so, bam, that's kind of a quick and dirty demonstration of how you can take layers from Gimp, export them as a .ora, unarchive it, assemble them in QuickTime, and then make a video out of that. So Take it as you will.